Well, hi, I'm Marge Kinney, and today we're going to talk about how to paint a small floral. For a moment here, I'd like you to take a look at some of my other paintings that I have. I paint both small and very large paintings, but I thought today, just to make it easy, we'll paint a very small one. I talked the other day about making 5x5s and how you make the luan, and how you cut the luan from a 4-foot by 8-foot piece of luan that you buy at a home improvement store, one of the big building stores. They will cut it for you down to 10 by 10, and when you use a 1/8 inch luan, it will fit in any photo frame when you remove the glass. Now today I will be using the several colors. I paint not only with 3 primary colors, red, yellow, and blue, but many times I'll paint with 13 to 17 colors, much like Sergei Bongart did, much like many of the other plein air impressionists do from time to time. So I'd like to talk a little bit about my palette for a minute. I am using oil today. And usually what I do, people say, well, how do you arrange your colors? If you ask me, God arranged them for us. If you look at the rainbow, or you take any prism with water and you put that up into sunlight, it's always the same, and that is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. If you look at any color wheel, it's always arranged as red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. Now, I not only arrange them in that order, but I also put 2 blobs of white. Today, because it's a small painting, I'm using 1 blob of white. If you'll notice too, I have quite a bit of paint on the palette. I don't believe in using just little tiny chocolate chip amounts of paint. I put a lot of paint on, and I don't mind throwing away paint because it takes quite a long time to use a tube anyway. So here we go. Alright, I'm going to start with a little bit of a background here, and I'm going to paint this one. As you can see, I've painted many of these small paintings. I paint roughly 300 of them a year. So today it will be one similar to this, just so you can see how it goes. I'll start by using a little bit of blue and a little bit of alizarin crimson and paint the background. I'm going to use a palette knife because that works just fine. The other thing I use is, notice you don't see any turpentine. I really do not believe in turpentine. If I use it at all, I use a very, very small little ketchup container like you would find at one of the local to-go restaurants, and only to wet the brush. The thing that I enjoy most is a roll of towels, and I keep that handy, and I just use pure color, and I use that to wipe my brush between colors. Okay, right now I'm just putting in a background. I'm going to have it a little dark on one side and let it go into a little bit of a lesser shaded color on the other side. This is so much fun. Turn on the music, Sam. Here we go. Might as well just have a little fun here. Kind of just go like this. I think that takes care of the background. Pretty much so, wouldn't you agree? Alright, I just go like that. Now, with my dirty palette, and I'm called a dirty brush painter, because I like the mix of one color into the next. Okay, there's the tablecloth. Nice pretty little tablecloth there. Oh, nice. Now I take my towel, wipe off the palette knife. That works as good as turpentine. And water. Now I make the vase. Here goes the vase. Oh, that is really difficult. Boy, I sure worked hard on that one. Like this, I'm telling you, when I've got 300 to do a year, we gotta move along, right? Okay, that takes care of such a nice vase. I think it looked pretty with just a little bit of a shadow underneath here, so let's just make a little shadow there underneath the vase. Now I'm going to switch to sap green. The colors I have on my palette happen to be alizarin crimson, a rose tone red, I use Grumbacher red, which is really a beautiful red, a cad orange medium and a cad orange light, yellow ochre, Naples yellow, cad yellow light, sap green. This happens to be Prussian blue today, however I really enjoy ultramarine blue, and I also use cerulean blue a lot. All right, now I have sap green on my brush. So when you paint the leaves right next to the base of the vase, you want those to be darker. So I'm just going to bring in the green leaves here like that. And then I'm going to bring in, it can still be dark leaves. And what I'm doing is aiming the point of the palette knife high, and I push down to the flatter part of it as I get closer to the base of the vase. Now I need a little bit of yellow with that in order to be seen on the dark side of the blue, right? And so where the dark side of this is will be the light side of my painting, and where the light side is, I'll use the darker green. Okay, so I'm just coming like this. Again, these are mostly fun paintings, just to have fun and also to use color. We're not trying to make an exact shade or an exact particular type of flower, but you'll see what happens, okay? All right, so we kind of have a base there, and while I'm at it, I think I'll just make a little stem here that kind of comes this way, and I'm going to put a little bit of leaves here to work with a little flower color. Okay, I think that about does that, and I wipe off again on the towel, and away we go with the color. So how about to start out with a bright red? Oh, oh boy, did I work hard on that flower. But there's another one. And we might as well make one more in a kind of a cluster. That looks very pretty. Now I think I'll take a little yellow over here. Make some yellow ones. Oh, but I think we need a white one. One time I was in a painting class and I was painting white flowers, but they had a little bit of the previous color on my brush, and so I told my instructor, who at that time was the wonderful Roger Armstrong, who has since passed to his great reward in his late 80s, and I said, you know, Roger, I'm going to make the rest of those flowers in white again. It's just that they had a little bit of another color. And he said, are you kidding? He said, the fact that you have other colors mixed in, he said, it makes it look like the folds in the petals. And I said, you mean I don't have to change and paint everything completely white? And he said, absolutely not. He said, it looks great. So he really saved me some time for the rest of my life. So I've had fun doing it like that. And when I want to clean off my palette knife, I just press it on this board here. Here's my little extra colors that I've just kind of used because of that. And now I'm just going to put a little bit of the yellow and orange, just a little bit of that in the center of these flowers to make them a little bit more interesting. And now I'll put a little bit of, let's see if I have a little bit of purple here. That ought to be pretty. So I'll put a little purple. Now again, I could make this a whole nother session where I make all these colors, but out of just 3 colors, but that is not where we're going today. We're just going to have fun with this little painting. All right, now I have a choice. I can either make the I can make the flowers down below in a light tone, but I think I'm going to go with a red again, just to make it kind of fun and exciting. There we go. I'm going to take a little bit of alizarin crimson and put it at the base of those flowers, just to add a little depth to them. Now, one time I was in a gallery, and a woman said, do you know what I think is so funny about your flowers? And I said, well, no, what do you think is so funny about my flowers, since I sold a lot of paintings in that gallery? And she said, I think it's so funny because you never put leaves in front of your flowers. I said, well, loose lips sink ships. I can do that. If that helps my sales, I'll do that. So I'm going to grab a little bit of green right now and a little bit of yellow and come back into some of those flowers and just add some little leaves in front of a few, so it makes it look like they're kind of tucked in behind a leaf. Shadow in there, a little bit of deeper shadow here. I'll put a little bit of shadow under these flowers. A little bit of stamens in the center of a couple more of these flowers. And that's about it for this one. So it's just a cute little picture like that. Makes a nice little original and will look great in somebody's bathroom, bedroom, kitchen, or whatever. Thanks a lot for joining me. I hope you join me again soon. Bye.